Today I got here the Honda CRF 300L, and I'm going to be installing a lowering link. Let's get to it. In the kit you'll get your lowering link, a replacement kickstand, and the directions. Here's the site I got the kit from. To install the new linkage, we're going to have to remove this piece right here. This is a 14 mil bolt with a 17 mil nut on the other side, front and back. To get the weight off the rear tire, I've placed the bike up on a stand. Now I can remove the two bolts. In order to get the front bolt out, I'm going to have to remove the brake return spring. I'm also going to remove these two 6 mil Allen key bolts to get the brake pedal up and out of the way and make it a little bit easier. I've placed a few blocks underneath the rear tire to get the pressure off the linkage, and it's in there pretty tight, so I'm going to have to give it just a little pry to get it out. Here's how the link will be set up on the bike. We have the spacer here that'll go through the front, these two collars on the inside with the bolt provided in the kit for the rear. I've put a small dab of grease on each end of my collar here and on the stock bolt. And now I'm going to slide this up into place and secure it with the bolt. I've also put a small dab of grease onto these collars here and onto the bolt that came in the kit, and I'm going to install them now. Before I slide the bolt through, I'm going to remove this collar here from the rear linkage, put a little bit of grease on the bearings and seal, and then I'll install the bolt. I'm going to install the bolt from the left side of the bike over to the right side of the bike so that it doesn't get in the way of the chain. The directions say to use a dab of red Loctite on all the threads. Next, we can install the nuts on the front and rear and tighten them up. The torque spec on the rear swing arm bolts is 32 foot-pounds. Now I'm going to reinstall the hex head bolts holding on the brake cylinder. I'm also going to give them a dab of blue Loctite. The last thing to do is reinstall the brake return spring. Next, I'm going to remove the kickstand by taking off the spring and the 3 8mm bolts. Now I can release the 14mm bolt with a 17mm nut holding the kickstand on. I'm going to use a little bit of fresh grease on this pivot bolt here. And then slide the new kickstand into place and install the bolt. I'm going to put a dab of red Loctite inside the nut and then reinstall it and tighten it down. There's a little tab right here on the kickstand switch. I need to make sure and align that into the hole on the kickstand. I will then put a little bit of blue Loctite on the threads. And reinstall the bolt. And then reinstall the guard and the spring. I'm going to have to adjust the kickstand by removing the 2 bolts on the back side, dropping it down about another 2-3 inches, and reinstalling the bolts. I'm also going to use some blue Loctite on the bolts. As you can see, I dropped the kickstand about 3 inches down. This is how the collar should look when it's installed on the bike. We've got the spacer up front here, the small spacers on the inside here, and the long bolt facing out towards the right side of the bike. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button or click up here to check out the next video. This has been my lowering link install on the Honda CRF 300L. Ride safe.